this computer.
Thank you.
Oops. We are preparing to go live. Oh. So. Woohoo! And we are professionals at this now, I tell you.
I know, right?
Good morning,
Awesome.
everyone. It is Monday morning again. It just seems like we were on here not too long ago, and it's already been a week. So welcome everybody to Nature's Divas and Conversations with the Divas. And welcome, Dr. Dave. It's so nice to hang out with you today on your beautiful yacht.
It's, best way to bring in spring, right? To be out.
Absolutely. Bring it this way.
The captain says that's about a 4-hour trip, so we'll see you this
Ah.
afternoon for dinner.
All right, sounds good. So I am just going to get started here and do some shuffling and see what the divas have for us today. Ooh, oh, we got a whole pile there. Stick those back in. Try that again. So I hope wherever you are in the world that you're excited about this day and this week, because it's a brand new slate. We get to choose whatever we want to do today. How cool is that?
Right. And today, officially bringing in spring.
Yes. And the days are getting longer, and it's so exciting. It's so nice to see the sun setting like around 7 o'clock. It's like,
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So
it's
beautiful.
Wonderful. And it's one of those days too to really kind of think of that balance of, Mother Earth has this wonderful balancing act that is just impeccable, so today we get 12 and 12, 12 hours of daylight, 12 hours of sunlight. What do you choose to do with each of those? And are you balancing well enough? She teaches us how to do that. So just paying attention to her rhythms allows us to then adopt maybe some great techniques. So I'm excited to hear what the divas have to say about that today.
Me too, because they always fit everything together in a nice package. So the first card that I have chosen is, that chose to pop out today is Bergamot. So let's see. And Bergamot is in the first position, which is all about the resources that we already have within us. Breathe in the freshness of my essence. I'm Bergamot. I help in uplifting, clearing the air, and releasing those things you have locked away in order to move forward. There is a yearning deep within you. Let it out. See where it takes you. Invite me along on the journey you are creating. I provide strength to move forward and commitment to putting one foot in front of the other. It is that time to do some spring cleaning. Clear that air, open up the windows, and get that stagnant air out. And that includes us as well. Do some deep breathing and just step out into the sunshine and breathe in the sunshine and all the beautiful colors. And just breathe in that sun. It just clears out all that stagnant energy within us that, winter is a time where everything's heavy and it's, we're going within, and now it's time to let that out and move forward. So bring in that lightness and sunshine everywhere in your body. So what do you think about that one, Dr. Dave?
This is one of my favorite. I hope I don't say that every time. Because I love them all.
Each one of them is my favorite too. It's like, I love this oil. It's like,
But truly, this is one that I use a ton, and it's really uh, it's one that I pick a great deal of to use that oil for the freshness, the openness, the lifting, because any citrus is that anti depressant properties that it can help us
Mhm.
with. So it's always that uplifting, helping us create more serotonin. But also part of that, because the acidity of that is getting away and eating away at all of that stagnation, so it's getting any of that funk out, for us. It's just getting it all bleh and moving. And so it's such a fresh, clean, crisp, really um, scent. Um, Man, I love that one. It's just, I it can bring you like that morning fresh feeling at any time whenever you are able to use that oil or that, that the scent of it is just amazing. I do mix it a lot but that's one that I use between that and grapefruit usually. The two of them
Mm.
are, whew, yum. So it's that uplifting, and especially like during workshops, that's one usually I will make sure that I have in a diffuser somewhere, so it's helping that clarity for
Mm.
folks,
That's a
and it's
great
making
idea. Yeah,
everybody much
because
more happy and yay.
yeah, and clarity is something we need right now to move forward. It's like, all right, well, what are we creating in our lives? What are we, moving forward to do now that spring is here? It's just so exciting, and it's an exciting time to birth new things. Like we were talking this morning about my book launch. So all these things that go into that, there's a lot of clarity and focus that's needed, as I'm finding
Mhm.
out, that, is needed in order to launch something and to bring forward what your gifts are to the world. So it's not just like, hey, I'm here. You want to really let people know that you're here. So it takes that clarity and that focus. And as well, you need to feel good inside. You need to want to share and to be in a space where you get out there and you're talking and you're excited about things. So Bergamot definitely helps with that. So the next one, and this is in the space of things that need to be released, and this is Juniper. Let's see what Juniper has to say. Uh, usually Juniper pops right out because it's in the middle. There we go. Hi, I'm Juniper, and I'm ready to roll up my sleeves and help clear the air. Huh, looks like we're clearing some air today.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Whether that is from a previous disagreement or argument you had with somebody, or to clear the air in your space. By working together on this, it helps elevate the vibration. Higher vibrations always give feelings of great health, love, and peace. I can also assist in restoring your determination. No more procrastination, confidence, and willpower. So we seem to be having a theme here today of getting that clarity, clearing out all that guck, as you you know very scientific term here, guck, and you want to get rid of it. So these are wonderful oils, juniper and bergamot, to do just that, to release that stuff that's no longer serving you. So you've had all winter to look within, to figure out what the next steps are, and now it's time to step out and do them. So there's habits, and there's things that might not serve you anymore that are now, things that need to be let go of. So it's time to do that and start moving forward.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, it cracks me up I love how it all just flows together. It's awesome. The Juniper, one of the first things that for me is a trigger to remember, um, is, well, two things. One, for night terrors for
Oh,
anybody, is
okay.
that's one of the first things that I always let folks know, if they're having any, whether it's the kids or themselves having any of those challenges with the night terrors. And the reason that it helps with that is just like, because of what you just said, was that it clears the air. So those night terrors are, because there's still some of those things that are in the outer limits, if you will, of our thinking, our subconscious, that are still playing out and trying to fix. And so that's how it gets brought into the dreamscape. And so juniper berry is that one thing that allows us, that gives us that one tool and opportunity to remember that we can clear that out. We no longer need to have that because it's not in our conscious waking state, and it's not serving us in the
Mhm.
moment. Juniper lets us get rid of that. The other part of that for normal day-to-day things is I remember it as the equalizer. And so it has this wonderful balancing aspect of it, because it's just bringing things back into more of that neutral. So it clears up the bad and allows the good to then be more prevalent and easier to grow faster and easier
Mm,
for us, so that it has that nice balance for us. Both of those, juniper berry and bergamot, are pretty awesome if you put into a spray, especially first thing in the morning kind of thing. It's
mm.
just that, yeah, it gives that, like I want either a cup of tea or coffee, just to be able to sit and just enjoy that balancing and letting go of any of the things that were already starting to start in our head, and allows us to have a very different, much more balanced landscape for our day. So
Mhm.
juniper and bergamot, I think, do those nicely together. Awesome team.
I even find myself just breathing in deeper because I can just imagine
Yeah.
those smells, and it's just like, oh, it
Yes.
smells so good,
Right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and we have cell memory, so we've smelt them before, so our subconscious already knows what that's supposed to do. It elicits that response already for us. So how fun is that?
Absolutely. Yep. So our last one here is geranium, and this is how everything's going to play out. So let's see what geranium has to say today. As you breathe in my scent, think about where you are at this very moment. Are you living small, fearful of your own potential, or are you dreaming big? Hi, I'm Geranium, and I am here to help you work through any barriers that are holding you back from being the best possible self you can be. There is beauty of the rose in each one of us. Our mission on this earth is to let the rose bloom so that you may share with the world your unique talents, knowledge, and love that only you can give. So why rose is mentioned in that is because a lot of times in different fragrances, they actually use geranium oil in place of rose because they smell very similar and they have similar uh, components and things like that. So each one of us is at a certain place of blooming, whatever, whether it's a little tiny bud or you're halfway there. At some point, you're some point along this uh, line of blooming into who you are. So think about, when you're thinking about moving forward, are you thinking big? Are you dreaming big? Do you have big goals that excite you? Or are you like, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to put myself out there too much because that's really big. But you are a big light. And if you were to expand this beautiful aura and beautiful soul, you are so much more than your body. And you expand so much out there. So expand that thinking and dreaming and goal setting, because you are a light down here and you are meant to shine bright. So it's not to hide under a bushel. It's to shine brightly. So by playing small and thinking small, you really don't do anybody any favors, because there's people here that are waiting for what you have to share. And if you're hiding over here, somebody over there can't see your light. So you got to shine it bright.
Mm, awesome. Well done.
Thanks.
That other part of that is just as you're talking, maybe replaying that part for how you're going to play big for your book.
Absolutely. And I have Mr. Marketing Guru here that just pulls these ideas out of his head. It's like, that's brilliant. So yes, we'll definitely be talking because yeah, you got a lot of good ideas out there and I am definitely all in. And it's just like, it's taken me about 5 years to from start to where it is now, which isn't finished, it's just beginning, because now I get to
Mm,
share it with the world. So the writing portion's done. So now it's, how am I going to really share that gift to the world? So I'm
mm,
excited to speak with you and,
mm.
dream big, and
Well,
really.
yeah, and that's is keeping that mindset of not keeping it under the bushel. It needs to be as bright as it can be, and so that's another tool so that you're going to be able to help folks shine their brightest. So you shining your brightest to be able to bring that to where it needs to be for everyone. So yay.
Absolutely.
So geranium, I just it tickles me every single time how it just all plays together. It's so good. In like the first words that you were talking about from to talk about geranium and it was to help you dream big. Well, it's great because we just cleared out any of the stagnant negative aspects of our dreams. So we cleared those decks. Now let's expand that even more. So what's possibilities and the things that you don't even know are possible. Let's invite them in as well. And that's what geranium does is allows that wonderful transition of expansion so that we can be more than we ever could imagine. And that's usually how our guides and angels and the devas would see us, is that we are so much more than we allow ourselves to begin to even think of how powerful that we really could be when we really set in and tap in and turn on that light so that it does shine wherever it's supposed to be. And everyone that needs to hear the message that we have it is delivered. So our job is just to show up and be that lighthouse, be that light, because then everyone else that has been waiting to hear that message and waiting to hear that part that we told them that we promised to be here at a specific time and place to remind them of how brilliant they are. Now you just show up to do that for them. And so that's what we're encouraging everyone is when we say show up and be the brightest light that you can be, that's it, is because you've contracted with everyone else on the planet to show up at a specific time to remind them of how bright they can be, or showing up to give them the mirror that they can love themselves without any condition, like we're supposed to love them and how we love ourselves. So geranium just is allowing us that huge expansion. And when it brings in that the essence of rose and it because it does smell very similar, rose is ultimately the all-encompassing, zero filter, unconditional love is that one. It is the purest form, most tangible form of love, I would say, on our planet
Mhm.
is rose oil. That it has this just undeniable, like you feel it right in your heart and it just everywhere. And there might be some of the oh, I don't know. I'm not used to that part kind of feeling, but geranium allows us to move past that, what I'm not ready for or what I thought I wasn't ready for. And so that allows us into the next vibration. So it's just beautiful how that all feels and when we allow that just to seep in and start filling in some of those gaps that used to be our wounds, then we get to allow that to expand and now that's no longer a wound, it's one of our shining points. I'm trying to think of that exact um, there's a quote that I'm trying to think of that I really love, about our wounds are the place that the light shines from or shines through.
Oh, yes.
Do you know? I
I've
try.
heard
I
of
have
it.
it.
Yes, I don't know the exact wording, but absolutely.
And that's what that reminds me of is when it comes to geranium is it allows that wonderful expansion that it can be something different. It doesn't necessarily just have to be a scar. It actually can be when we transcend and actually work with our body, what it can be. So it can be that reminder, and it's that one place where the light is able to escape, and able to shine for everyone else, so they can see through what once was a scar is now that shining moment of something that that we've learned, and now we get to help teach others of what we learned through that process and shining our light.
Absolutely.
Yay.
And it's also to show those that may be suffering through something right now that they can move through it. There is the other side of that, and you can be that guiding light that guides them out. I'm sure when you were going through whatever experiences you were going through, you wish there had been a guiding light there for you. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't, and you needed to find that path. You were the one that cleared that path. Now it's a path that you can say, hey, it's okay. We've got some similar things going on here, and I can help you through that. So, and the fear, it's only in your head. It is not real, not real.
Yes.
All the experiences that you have gone through have made you the strong person that you are. Don't let that ego that's yammering in the background going, oh, you don't want to be doing anything like that. You don't want to listen to them because there's people out there that are suffering just like you were, and they need to hear what you have to say. And stepping forward is nobody's going to make fun of you. Nobody's going to do all these things that your ego's like, oh, nobody's doing that. Everybody's pretty cool about things these days. Nobody has to be perfect at things. They want that real person, that person that's, warts and all, that comes in and says, hey, this is what I've done. This is me. And you move through it instead of all polished and everything, because that's not real. It isn't real.
Right.
And that's what I've found out through many many situations where I'm like, you just gotta laugh because it's like, goodness
Yeah.
sake, this
Right.
technology and the fears. Once you do it, it's like, well, it wasn't that bad. What was I afraid of? So it's just all nonsense in your head to keep you right where you are,
Right.
not transforming and changing into the person that you're here to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Rock on. Love that. I'm wondering, Miss
Yes.
Thang, Divas of the Divas, might you consult the Divas about what, like one card, that they would like to share about this next season?
Ooh,
This new season?
that's a great idea. Sure. Let me shuffle it up.
Shuffle it up.
Shuffle it up.
Shuffle it.
Let's see what message do they have for this coming. Oh, there it is. Copaiba.
Shut the front door.
So let's see what Copaiba is all about. Soft and gentle as me, Copaiba. I help you slow down and look around. What do you see? Breathe. Take in all that is around you. Notice and acknowledge the little things. Our days can be taken over by busyness, and before we know it, another day has passed. With all this doing and lists, there doesn't seem to be any time to just step outside and be. Commit to yourself to take a few moments each day to be. So enjoy that sunshine out there and the spring temperatures, and be more of who you are. Take a look at those little things, those things that bring miracles. Get that attitude of gratitude that every day is a gift and a miracle. And when you do that and you notice the beauty that spring, like each season has its own beauty. Spring is so much nicer because there's no more snow. And there's spring
Right.
flowers and the buds on the trees and the birds are singing and just all these wonderful things that you can see, and you can smell them like hyacinths. They smell so wonderful.
Mm,
And the colors are coming back and the grass and just like all these wonderful things. To step outside and enjoy what nature and Mother Earth has given us, and understand that we are part of that. We are connected to that. So by us being more of who we are and sharing our gifts, then everything raises.
mm, mm. Oh, this I'm it's that tomato copaiba or copaiba.
Mm,
I love it. They both crack me up. So, but anyway, that oil is, whew, when our the company that I work with, when they brought it to the forefront of putting into our um, toolbox to be able to start using, whoa, what a game changer this oil has been for so many folks. Wow. Um, from bringing, because it actually works on the endocannabinoid system within our body. And so not many folks know about the endocannabinoid system. We know about central nervous system. We know, all of the integumentary system. We know all of those other ones, but a lot of folks aren't really educated much about the endocannabinoid one. And a lot of that is regulating inflammation. It's regulating so much of how our pain management, how we interpret pain, or it isn't pain and we confuse it as pain, but it's
mm.
also a lot of those deep entwined kind of things that are deep seated within us. And copaiba. I really like that one, but I always feel like, I don't know, the cartoon, uh, 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 Tweety Bird and Sylvester, and there's always the Mexican mouse, and he,
Yes,
you know what I'm talking about, right?
I
Only
do. The kangaroo.
the season
Yes.
aged
Yep.
folks might remember. I don't know what his name was, but arriba, arriba.
Oh,
So
yes. I remember.
white hat, he had a white
Yep.
sombrero, and
Trying to think. Was it Mighty Mouse? Was
but
it?
no, no,
No.
no, it was part of that segment that they had with Tom and Jerry. That's what it was, and I think it was in that one. I'll have to
I
find it later.
remember. I remember watching Looney Tunes and seeing him. Yes.
But the Copaiba is, it really connects on so many different fronts where it will allow us to not necessarily be stuck at a pain level of whatever we think pain is attached to. It allows us just to
Mm,
release the things that are there without having to go through the pain of it. So that happens to be a secondary action that happens. So as we release and let go of all of that, we're able to then see like, oh, the pain's gone too. Great, awesome. That's how it was supposed to be. The other part of Copaiba that I was thinking about, especially for how that might be brought now for this season that they were introducing it to us, is that any of the darker energies in the stuck that we felt or in that was in hibernation during the winter months, now it's a great time for us to pause to look at what is it that you want to begin to start to plant for the next seasons. So
mm,
Copaiba is that wonderful place for us to remember, let's get rid of the other what we were feeling before. What is it that you let's just set that aside, and right now, what is it that you want to experience? What is it that you want to cultivate? Because now's the time to begin that process of growing as everything begins to wake up. And so same with our whole body, our emotion, physically, emotional, spiritual. What do you want to start putting in and concentrating all of your energy in the new light that's starting to shine differently now so that we can grow and flourish? Because this is the time to begin awakening everything from that spring part.
Absolutely.
So,
Well
yay.
said. Well, there
Well,
are good things coming ahead, and I'm just so excited for everything that's happening, the miracles, and just spending time with my friend here, and just having a good time, because this is so much fun. And yeah, so that is the segment for today for Nature's Divas, and we're going to come right back on and talk about what if and positive possibilities. So thank you so much, Dr. Dave, for being here today. Thank you for everybody that's watching this. And we'd love to hear your comments on what resonated with you today and what you're going to be getting rid of and letting go of to bring in this new season. So I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and we will talk to you soon.